Today's recipe is going to show you how to make chicken with a mushroom sauce. And it's going to be a great mushroom sauce because we're going to make the chicken stock that goes into the sauce. And so we need to start with a whole chicken. If you don't know how to butcher a chicken, I'll show you how to. We're going to take off the parts that we want to serve and eat later. So we'll nip the breasts out, take the legs off, and then with the rest we're going to go into the pan with onion, carrots, celery and garlic. Those are our mirepoix vegetables. All that in the pan. Simmer that for about 45 minutes. And then the next step later we'll make that into our sauce. I'm also going to clip this video out as well because we're going to show stock of this how to make a chicken stock. I hope that goes in nicely somehow. So first things first, how to butcher the chicken. So if you turn your chicken with the legs away from you and the sort of head end and the breast towards you, and there's a bone, the breastplate goes all the way down here, and then it hits the wishbone, and the wishbone goes off both sides. And all you're going to want to do is find the center of the breastplate there, put your knife in, and just slice along, and just go down to the breastplate. And the knife should kind of just naturally fall down, and you can see it there. And go to the wishbone, follow the wishbone down, and that's your first cut. Just use your finger to open that up a little bit. And you'll see back here, this is already starting to free off. So just slide your knife down. Going right down, you'll take all the flesh away. So you see there's hardly anything left there. You can then just work your way up slowly with a very sharp knife, really helps. And just nip that out. Go through the skin, because the skin's always going to hold you up a little bit. Through the skin. Just make sure we get all of that. You don't want to waste anything. You know, we're going to use it for a stock, so technically we won't waste anything, but we want to eat this. And just work your way through. Try and make sure that here you've got the bottom of the breast. You can see the sort of the joint there. And then just come through and cleanly down. And that way you've got a lovely big fat breast. Gonna cook that later. We've left very little meat on the chicken. So you see, like, we've come down against the breastplate here. We've cleaned that off there. There's very, very little left this part either. And now repeat on the other side. Fast forward this bit. Right. The next part we're going to do is we're just going to take the legs off. And take the legs off, very simple, just kind of open up a little bit. So the skin, the part that's going to give you a bit of trouble is the skin, just go straight through the skin. The leg out, you probably want to give it a crack. That gets the joint open. Let's go in behind the joint, straight through next to close to the body as you can. And then you've got your leg off. Same again the other side. Get any skin out of the way. Open up with your hands. Crack it. Get the joint out. Close to the body as you can. Through the joint. And there you go. It's your other leg. And if you want the wings, just find your joint. It's in there. See how I've popped it? Pop it by hand so you hear it crack and it opens. And you just push your knife in the gap. Same again the other side. Open it up. Straight through the gap. So you've got all your wings, your breast, and your legs. And what you're left with is this bit of the body. I'll throw that in just as it is. Straight into the bottom of the pan. Then all of our veg. Garlic will crush. Onion, celery, carrot, garlic cloves. Just put your hand on top. Crush them down. You can put garlic skin in. It's absolutely fine. And we're now going to cover this with hot water, boiling water. when you make a stock, you don't want to put an excessive amount of liquid in. So I'm probably going to stop there. I can give the chicken a little prod. Chicken a little prod. It's just even slightly uncovered, but that's about the maximum amount of water you want in there, because there's only so much flavour you can draw out of the chicken. If you fill that pan right to the top, you're going to share all that flavour amongst a much larger volume of liquid. So you just want to have just the right amount of water. Put that onto a gentle simmer. Definitely don't boil it too hard, because you'll release all this fat and stuff into the stock, make it all greasy. A very gentle simmer, lid on, so you don't lose too much liquid, and leave that for about 40 or 45 minutes. It will smell delicious. You'll see that it gets there. And right, so our chicken stock cooked for approximately 45 minutes. I've turned it off, let it cool a bit. When you make chicken stock, they smell amazing. You just got you've really got to start to appreciate quite how good it is once you start making the thing yourself. It's so much better than anything you could buy in like a powdered pot. So at this point, we've got a nice sort of broth. It's taken a nice colour. We kept it at a gentle simmer. I added a tiny bit of water about halfway through just to keep the level up. But again, like not too much. You never bring it right up, because you'll have a very weak stock. So now it's going to strain this liquid off. I did put a little bit of thyme in there as well, and a couple of bay leaves. But if you ever roast the chicken as well, and you've got the chicken carcass left over, roast chicken stock is amazing. So never throw that carcass away. Use it to make a stock when you're done. Pull that out, get as much out as possible. And the chicken there, I mean, you can see there's still like all this stuff now. You'll be able to pull that off. All these little bits of chicken. Just don't throw that away either. You can use that to make chicken sandwiches or like anything. But I'll probably make sandwiches. But so that's strained off, and that there is fresh chicken stock. You can keep that in your fridge for at least a week. It keeps really well. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our mushroom sauce with it. In this pan here, I've just sliced some potatoes, put them in salted water, and we're just going to make some chips. So we're going to have chicken with creamy mushroom sauce and chips. The chicken we're going to pané a little bit. So I've gone again with a sort of corn flour mix. Again, about 3/4 or 4/5 of self-raising flour, and then 1/4 or 1/5 of corn flour to make it a bit crispy. And if you want to throw any spices in there, go ahead. You can throw like curry powder or Cajun spice mix or garlic powder, onion powder, anything in there to make it a bit more flavourful, and a bit of salt and pepper. And then we're going to use that to just to pané our chicken, and just put a nice crispy coat on it, so we have these like lovely crispy chips, crispy chicken, lovely mushroom sauce, and then we'll just throw a bit of like cabbage and greens around the plate as well, just to get some vitamins out of it. So at this point as well, with I've got thighs here, or legs here, and I'm going to cut them so we have like drummers and thighs. So just go like back into that joint. And you see, like if you get it in the right spot, it'll drop straight through, and you go. There you got two pieces, and they're just going to be like easier to handle and easier to cook, and they'll cook a bit quicker. Just down through the joint again, and there you go. I've got really I keep my knives pretty sharp, so it's kind of gone straight through the joint. But just cut those into smaller pieces, and this is for Bella and me. There's only two of us. We're not going to eat all of this. We'll keep some back. And yeah, plenty there for a meal for two for a couple of days. And with the stock, you can make a few other things as well. We've now got some hot oil ready. I've got our dry flour mix over here. Got some egg and milk, which we just beaten together with a fork here. So we're going to go dry, wet, dry, and then we're going to fry it a little bit. I'm just going to put some nice colour on there, get it nice and crispy. Drop it into this tray, and then we're going to put it into a preheated oven at 160 Celsius just for about 20 minutes, or 15-20 minutes, just finish. So, to start with, for our imitation KFC, get a nice crunchy bit of chicken. Once there, flour, little shake, just drop that in your oil, get a bit of colour on. I'm just going to repeat that with a few more pieces of leg chicken, and then that'll, a couple of these pieces, that'll be enough for 2 people. Back in the flour, good covering everywhere, a little shake to get the excess off. Just keep repeating that until you've got as much as you need. So at this point we've browned the chicken on one side, turned it gently. Just going to give it a few minutes more on the underside, and then we're going to pop it into this dish here, and that's going to go in the oven just for sort of 15 minutes or so, and then we'll check it to see if it's cooked. And while that's cooking, we're going to fry off our potatoes, our chips, and we're also going to make our mushroom sauce. Our chips are now frying away. They've been frying for about 5 minutes. We boiled them in salted water for about 5 minutes, and then drained them, let them steam off for a couple of minutes, and then put them into a hot pan. A little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, just brown them up nicely, and you can see because they've had that little boil, they're kind of fluffing up around the edges, taking some nice colour. The next thing we're going to do this mushroom sauce, and this is a showpiece of the recipe really. This mushroom sauce, I've served it all over the world. I've served it from the highest level all over the place, and it's so easy. Because you've made this beautiful stock, which what it all revolves around. So I've now got a hot pan here. I've just got some button mushrooms, what are locally available. I'm just going to give those. There's a bit of oil in there at the moment. I'm going to drop. Let's put another butter in as well. These butters in here. So about the right size piece of butter. So just another butter in the bottom. And I put the garlic in after the mushrooms are in the pan. I find that this makes it less likely that the garlic will burn before the mushrooms cook. So just that's on a decent heat, well, just a tiny bit. So hot oil, mushrooms in, butter in, and then once they're in, then I'll follow up with some garlic, just 1 clove. And we're just going to give those a few minutes to take some colour, brown a little bit, and then we're going to add the stock. And we're going to cook the stock down, and then we're going to add a bit of cream, and that is really all there is to it. After a couple of minutes of cooking, the mushrooms have got some nice colour. It's all smelling nice and toasty in there. An optional bit you can do at this point, you can put a splash of white wine in there. White wine in these cream sauces is also goes very well together. That will quite quickly sizzle off, and what you're going to do now is you're going to add a couple of ladles of chicken stock. And just let that reduce down, and once that's reduced down, then you just need a splash of cream in there, and that'll make the sauce instantly, and you'll have this really delicious, wholesome mushroom chicken sauce. And it'll be something that you probably have forgotten what things like this taste like, because it's so rare that you get things that are made from scratch in this way these days. Everything's made out of a packet, even in a lot of restaurants. So if you make this stock, you cook it down a little bit, and let it off with a bit of cream. You can have the most beautiful chicken mushroom sauce that you can imagine. Our stock and mushrooms, we've now reduced that down to about a third of what we had. So there's a bit of liquid still in there. I've got some water ready, just we're going to have a bit of Savoy cabbage with this. And all we need to do now is just take a pot of cream, add a splash of that, and let that come to the heat. You probably won't even need to season this because the flavour that comes out of the chicken stock is so good. But give that a minute to come back to the heat, give it a little taste. If it does need a little bit of salt or pepper, add a tiny bit at first, because it's got a lot of flavour in there naturally from the stock. And then just serve it up. Put your chicken out, put your chips out, a little bit of green, something if you want. and just pour the sauce all over it. It'll be the best sauce you've made. The other thing's now cooked. Chicken's been sat there for just about 5 minutes, it's resting. Just going to serve up homemade chips. I mean, it's a real comfort meal. We really wanted fried chicken. Bella really loves that mushroom sauce. I wanted chips, so we're having chips, mushroom sauce, bit of cabbage to make us feel better about the fact that we're eating cream and fried chicken. And that's about it. Chips are there. And that is why we did it, isn't it?
I'm laughing because you're piling on the chips. Normally people put a smaller portion and then they go back for seconds so they realise how much has been piled on their plate. But
we're definitely going to eat it, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's alright.
Yeah.
Then, so in with the chickens. Got this nice crispy fried chicken. We got a drummer and a thigh each. We've got a wing each. We've got really pigged out. There's drummer, thigh, wing. We've abandoned our normal technique of plating it tidily and adding what we actually eat afterwards. Whereas this time we're just making a big pile of chicken on chips. We're going to cover it in cream sauce. So there's a pile of chicken. Here's our cream sauce. It's just stock, mushrooms, cream, bit of garlic, bit of white wine. And all's left to do now is I'm just going to straight in there. I'm just going to pour that straight in the middle. Another one for mine. And now we're just going to sit down and chow down. Bon appetit.